Alright, and good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be hanging out, and we're actually going to be looking at a short video in regards to the crystals that you can build within Tinkertown. So far, I have unlocked 4 of them: the Crystal of Bleeding, Frost, Poison, and of Weakness. So each one of them requires separate items that you have to go out into the world of Tinkertown in order to collect, and then bring back and make in the alchemy table. As you can see here, so far I've built the first crystal, Crystal of Bleeding, and when I did so, it unlocked a new pattern. So what I want to do is actually go through the other 3 that we have here in front of us, unlock the patterns, and then take a look at what they've unlocked and what we can build from there. So I've already got all the items done up here that are required in order to build these. So we're going to go ahead and build the first one, the Crystal of Frost. And that seems to have unlocked the True Ice Dagger and the True Ice Sword. Alright. Nextly, we're going to go through the Crystal of Poison. Poisonous Desert Bow. Alright, so just one with that one. And the Crystal of Weakness. Weakening Spiked Sword. Alright, very cool. So, those gave us 4 different types of weapons that we could build. Earlier, when I built the Crystal of Bleeding, I ended up unlocking a new dagger. And these are actually the items that are required to combine with a different, lesser weapon. And when combined, they make the better weapon that we just unlocked there. So, they're not overly difficult to be able to make. They just require a little bit of grinding. So your Crystal of Bleeding is 10 red jelly, 5 bone, and 3 sandworm parts. And the sandworm parts, you got to go to the desert and kill the sandworms. Glacial shards 4, snowballs or snow 10, and gold bars 5 required to make the Crystal of Frost. Your Crystal of Poison requires 3 glands, 3 sandworm parts, and 10 green jelly. I found that out of all of this, the things that I had the least of was the poison glands, and where I found those off of were the scorpions, which you can find out in the desert as well. So when you head out there, you can go out and actually take a look at killing a bunch of scorpions and sandworms all at the same time, and that'll get you your items towards these crystals. Nextly is the Crystal Weakness, which is your 3 poison glands, 2 turtle shells, and 6 bones. And your turtles, again, those are located in the desert, and they have, I found, about a medium kind of drop rate, about a 50-50. Every time you kill a turtle, it'll drop you a turtle shell. And coincidentally, you can also use the turtle shells to build yourself a turtle shield as well, too. Alright, so next we're going to take a look at the weapons that we just unlocked. So coming over to the anvil here, and as you can see, popped up a few new things. So the Poison Desert Bow, so requires 1 desert bow, which we already have, and 1 Crystal of Poison, which we just unlocked. So we're going to go ahead and make that, and we've now upgraded from the desert bow to the Poisonous Desert Bow. And nextly is your Weakening Spiked Sword, which requires a spiked sword as well as the Crystal of Weakness. Now, I do recall having the spiked sword somewhere. We'll take a look at that in a second. Now, the True Ice Sword. This is one that I'm actually super excited for because we've already got the Ice Sword. I really like it. It's probably one of the best swords that you can get so far in the game in terms of damage-wise. And we're going to go ahead and build the next one up here. So we've automatically used the Crystal of Frost, and we've turned our Ice Sword into a True Ice Sword. We don't have a dagger right now for the Ice Dagger. Haven't bothered to build one. I believe, my understanding is that if you go with the daggers, I think you get a faster agility, but not quite as heavy on the strength. But I'd have to double check that. Now I know we have a spiked sword somewhere. So just give me a second while I find it. There we go. Alright, so we're going to turn our spiked sword into the Weakening Spiked Sword. Using our Crystal of Weakness, we now have that. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to look at trying to build a dagger and check out this crystal bleeding. So I'll bring you guys back in a second here. Alright, so as I said, I have a bit of a theory on the daggers versus the swords. Typically in games where you have the ability to get daggers versus swords, usually the daggers are quicker but do less damage. And I want to test this theory out. So we've got the spike dagger here. We're going to craft one with the parts we've got in our inventory. And then we're going to go ahead and go with the grievous spiked dagger. And there we are. So we've now made one of every single item of the four crystals that we've got unlocked so far. I haven't gone online and done any kind of background research into terms of how many crystals there are. I'm just going with the 4 I've unlocked so far here. So if you guys out there, if any of you play Tinkertown and you happen to know of more crystals that I may have missed so far, as I do have a little bit more of the game to still go, let me know. Drop them down in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything else out there that I might have missed. And I'll definitely take a look into trying to find it. So next we're going to go out and we're going to go find ourselves some enemies, and we're going to take a look and test these weapons out to see what kind of damage we do. Alright, we found our first victim here, and we're going to test with long range this poisonous desert bow here, and I want to see the damage difference. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, very cool. So it seems to do around the same amount of damage to that goblin that I did before. However, it adds a poison element. Oh yes, this thing is awesome. Oh, that was fantastic. Alright, I really like this one so far. This is going to be a super big help getting into when you go run dungeons with this. Alright, next we're going to look for something that we can test this true ice sword on. Alright, Mr. Goblin. What you got for me? 20 damage. I like that. Those are some good numbers. Say probably a little bit of an increase from the other ones. Oh, look at that, and I wound up at the first dungeon. Alright, I'm coming back for you a little later on, dungeon. Alright, let's check you out. 20 damage. Yeah, 22. Wow. Oh, and it slows them. Oh, that's epic. Alright, so this thing actually slows your enemies, which is very cool. Alright, so now we're going to check out this weakening one here next. Alright, two hits on a green slime, but very close to doing just a one hit on them. Oh, I think my inventory's full. Alright, let's try this out again. Oh. Alright, so not too bad. I don't know, maybe it was in my head, but it seemed like they were hitting me for maybe a little less damage, so perhaps it takes down the strength of your enemies. And lastly, we're going to check out this little dagger here. Oh, this guy's tiny, look at this little thing. Alright, come on, snowman, let's do this. Oh, it's got a bleed. Okay, very cool. So, as you can see, those little numbers there, every few seconds it ticks with a 2. So this dagger has a bleed damage to it, so that's pretty helpful too. I like that. Especially for those enemies that might take off on you. Or if you're trying to back up and get away from them. Give yourself that time and distance and you just let the things take care of themselves. Very cool, I like that. It seems to have a pretty good amount of time on it as well too, so that's cool. I like that. Alright, I didn't notice if it changed any of my stats when I shifted. So no, it doesn't seem... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I go from sword to bow and I drop in armor. Interesting, so your ice sword gives you more armor. And how about this other sword? No, so just the bow, it looks like. When you drop from a sword or handheld down to the bow, that's where your armor drops a little bit. So fair enough. All right on. Cool, guys. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed as we went through and checked out the different crystals in this game, how to unlock them, and what we could build once we have crafted them. Test out these weapons a little bit, so now you should be able to make your own judgment as to which weapons you might like to take into some of these battles with you. So if you guys did find that you enjoyed the video, please drop a like for me. I greatly appreciate it. I love all the support that I get on the channel. It's been absolutely amazing. And yeah, next time hopefully I'll catch you guys when I get into that new revamped forest dungeon. I'm gonna go check that out next. So have an awesome day, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.